Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to treat history a bit like a top-secret dossier, unpacking the epic rescue mission of India's independence. Specifically, we're looking at a profoundly impactful, yet sometimes overlooked force, the incredible Muslim superheroes who stepped up to help lead the charge. It's an absolutely fascinating story of how wildly diverse groups of people united against literally impossible odds for one massive shared cause.
To really get this, you have to picture the scene. For nearly 200 years, the British Empire basically played the role of the ultimate villain. They ruled India by extracting its massive wealth and forcing down these deeply unfair laws that completely stripped the local people of their agency. It was a suffocating era of suppression. Breaking free from that kind of grip, well, that was going to take an unprecedented level of coordination and raw courage.
But here's the thing. The mission to rescue the country wasn't just about breaking those chains. It was about building something brand new, a free, united nation where everyone is equal. Tearing an empire down is one thing, right? But building a unified country out of such a vast and diverse landscape, that required a massive team of everyday people stepping up to do some truly extraordinary things.
And this heroism, it definitely wasn't contained to just one city or one demographic. From the rugged frontier mountains up north all the way down to the southern kingdoms, Muslim freedom fighters stood shoulder to shoulder with figures like Gandhi to save their home. We are talking about a true league of freedom assembled from every single corner of the map.
Okay, let's open our first dossier file. Category 1, the Fearless Warriors. Their superpower? Unstoppable bravery. These are the folks who flat out refused to back down when the empire came knocking.
First up, we've got Tipu Sultan, famously known as the Tiger of Mysore. His advantage wasn't just raw bravery, it was military innovation. Get this, he actually invented early iron-cased rockets way back in the 1700s. He used this crazy advanced technology to outsmart and terrify the British army. When other leaders were throwing in the towel, Tipu Sultan fought to the bitter end to protect his people.
Then there's Muhammad Khanum, better known as the Rebel Queen of Awadh, Begum Hazrat Mahal. Talk about unshakable leadership. During the massive 1857 uprising, when the British exiled her husband, she didn't even think about surrendering. Instead, she crowned her infant son, rallied a massive army, and literally stepped onto the battlefield herself to retake the city of Lucknow. What a phenomenal display of taking charge when the odds are totally stacked against you.
We also have to talk about Ashfaqullah Khan. He used his supreme courage for direct, audacious action. In 1925, he and his crew executed the famous Kakori train robbery. They essentially hijacked a British train to take back Indian government money, and then used those funds to finance the wider revolution. It was dangerous, high-stakes work, all for the cause of freedom.
Ashfaqullah Khan actually left us with these powerful words. The brave dies once, cowards daily. And wow, did he prove what that meant. When he was betrayed by an informant in 1927, he made the ultimate sacrifice. But it's how he did it. He walked right up to his execution smiling. He tied the Quran to his chest, kissed the executioner's rope, and stood by his convictions to the very end. Just an incredibly heavy, profound moment.
Moving on to Category 2, the Masters of Words. Their superpower is the mighty pen. Because, let's face it, throwing a physical punch isn't the only way to fight a heavily armed empire. These heroes knew a fundamental truth. Ideas are bulletproof. Take Maulana Azad, for example. He used what you might call dangerous journalism, starting a newspaper that was so critical the British actually banned it and exiled him. Plus, he was the youngest Congress president at just 35, fiercely uniting people. Then you have Hasrat Mohani, who possessed this unbreakable spirit. He wrote incredibly beautiful Urdu ghazals. These are poems about revolution, even while locked inside a tiny, dark British prison cell. They could lock him up, sure, but they couldn't cage his mind.
In fact, Mohani's words were so impactful that in 1921, he actually coined the phrase Inqilab Zindabad, which translates to Long Live the Revolution. This wasn't just a catchy poem. It became the ultimate rallying cry used by pretty much all freedom fighters across the entire nation. It just goes to show how one person with the right words can give a voice to a whole movement.
And finally, we have Category 3, Shields and Nation Builders. Their superpowers are peaceful resistance and creating the future. Because refusing to fight back while still standing up for what's right, that takes a different kind of superhuman strength.
You know, you really don't have to be a soldier on a battlefield to be a hero. It was everyday people, the teachers, the lawyers, the moms, the peaceful marchers, who really laid the solid foundations of the free country we see today. They used peaceful resistance to break unfair laws with absolute dignity.
So, how do you actually build a free nation from scratch? Well, it takes 3 distinct steps. Step 1, the sword. You need the action and bravery to defend your people. Step 2, the pen. You need the ideas and the poetry to wake up the nation. And step 3, the shield. You absolutely need the peace to sustain the movement and the education to prepare the next generation for the future.
It's kind of like a giant puzzle. You simply can't have a successful revolution without the writers to inspire it, the marchers to sustain it, and the brave leaders to guide it. From Tipu Sultan's rockets to Maulana Azad's printing press, right down to a teacher in a classroom, a free nation needs every single one of these superpowers working together.
As we close out this explainer dossier on these incredible historical figures, I want you to take a look at the challenges in our modern world. We still need builders, we still need voices, and we for sure still need courage. So ask yourself, what is your superpower? And how are you going to use it to build the future? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it sparked some curiosity, and I'll see you next time.